fellow pilots and future pilots. You're welcome to another video. In today's video, I'm basically going to be starting a new series for the pilot training series. It's going to be based on ground reference maneuvers. So for those of you that are new to the channel, you're welcome. Just a quick introduction. My name is Habib. I'm a pilot and a flight instructor. I also run a flight training center here in Central Florida. So if you're interested in becoming a pilot, or if you're looking to switch your flight school, feel free to check the link in the description below. I have the link to our flight training center there, so you can reach out to us. Myself and my team of flight instructors will be glad to help you through this flight training journey. So everybody, you're welcome. And for this new flight training series is basically going to be covering ground reference maneuvers. So before I get into it, I'll just like to give a quick word to whoever's watching this content. The reason I really make these videos is to help student pilots out there. So please, if you know somebody that's interested in this type of content, feel free to share the content with them. Let them know that there's a lot of content out there to help you through flight training. You don't have to be stuck, especially while paying a lot of money to go through the whole process. I understand, having been through that process myself, I understand how nerve-wracking it could be. So please share the content with them, subscribe, like the channel to also help us grow. We'll be creating more educational content to help our pilots out there. So I really appreciate that. Thank you. So in the meantime, I go into talking about the ground reference maneuvers, and I'm looking forward to your feedbacks and your comments to let me know where you learned, or if there's anything you feel like we can add to the videos, please just let me know. It will be my pleasure to elaborate on anything. All right, I'll see you guys in the video. Thank you.
Hello pilots, and all the aviation enthusiasts also watching the channel, you're welcome. You're welcome to another video, and my name is Habib. If you're new to the channel, I'm a flight instructor. I'm also a pilot, a commercial pilot, and in today's video I'm basically going to be talking about the ground reference maneuvers. So please stay tuned, and I'll be putting links in the description below to each specific maneuver if you're watching. So please, for the ground reference maneuvers, there's basically 3 different types. So I'll be going in depth on each video with the specific way to perform each maneuver to satisfactory standards. So please make sure you check the links in the description below. But before I go into details, I'll just give a brief overview of what the ground reference maneuvers is all about. So the ground reference maneuvers is basically a maneuver that is there to help the pilot build the ability to divide their attention. So it's one of the maneuvers we practice here in the US with student pilots. So the 3 I mentioned earlier, the S turns and turns around the point. Those are like the main ones they want us to teach student pilots here in the US. So maybe in your country it might be a little bit different, but the idea is pretty much the same thing for these maneuvers. So just watch for entertainment, and also try to get some tips here and there on how to perform the maneuvers. The general idea, that's my disclaimer by the way, but the general idea really for all these maneuvers is basically to be able to follow a specific path on the ground while also controlling the attitude of the airplane. So as a pilot, you need to be able to divide your attention. So this is what the ground reference maneuver really helps you with, your ability to basically divide your attention outside and inside the airplane. So that's the main idea. So with that being said, the main important thing I want you to think about when you're going through the ground reference maneuvers is to think about how the wind affects the aircraft. So The aircraft basically flies because of the wind for the most part. So when you're performing these ground reference maneuvers, because you're going to be flying close to the ground, you also need to be able to pay attention to traffic and all that stuff. But also, most importantly, you need to pay attention to your ground speed. So whenever the wind is pushing you from the back, you pretty much have a tailwind. So your ground speed is going to be a lot higher. So if you're flying with respect to a reference point, you need to pay attention to, how fast you're moving. And if you need to turn to maintain that ground path, you need to be able to apply a steeper turn whenever you have a tailwind. So that's the first tip. The second tip is if you're flying into a headwind, so basically you're flying opposite from the direction of the winds. Sorry if you see me looking down, I'm just looking out for traffic, making sure everything around me is good. So if you're flying with a headwind, you basically are going to have a slower ground speed. So in situations like this, you have to apply a turn to maintain your ground path. You just need to use a shallow turn. So this is the main idea I'm going to use to apply in performing these ground reference maneuvers. So with that being said, you need to watch out for a few common errors. So most of the common errors are, not performing your clearing turns or your pre-maneuver checklist. And also because you're going to be flying close to the ground, you need to be able to watch out for obstacles, right? So a lot of people, they usually don't look out for obstacles and traffic around them. So here and there, you may see me looking around while performing the maneuver and basically just looking out for traffic. We'll try to make my radio calls, and make sure I'm safe at all times. So that's the idea with most of these maneuvers. So with that being said, that's the introduction for the ground reference maneuvers. If you need to learn a little bit more, go read the Airplane Flying Handbook. The Airplane Flying Handbook has a lot of details with respect to how to perform the ground reference maneuvers satisfactorily. And also check the ACS, the applicable ACS for your country, or for whatever maneuver you're performing, to make sure you're performing into the correct standards. So the main standards ideally with regards to the altitude for this maneuver is you need to be able to perform it between 600 to 1,000 feet. So once you do that, your maneuver could pretty much be considered a ground reference maneuver. So yeah, I'll put the link in the description below. Make sure you go watch each specific maneuver to get the details. And that's the introduction, guys. If you get any value from this, please make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and help us grow the channel. And if you know somebody that can benefit from this content, please feel free to share. It takes a lot to make videos like this, and we're just trying to educate pilots out there. So please share the video with anybody you feel could learn from these videos, and I really appreciate that. Thank you, guys. See you in the actual maneuvers.